As a child, I had a lot of faith. I believed with every fiber of my being in God, who I was sure was an English-speaking version of my maternal grandfather, all white-haired and old and wise. Like my grandfather, this God was profoundly interested in my well-being and wanted more than anything for me to be happy. I talked to him constantly. My lips were always moving soundlessly. And I knew he heard me. I thought he was like Santa Claus and could see everything that I did, but being a child, I didn't really understand omnipotence and omnipresence. I thought he couldn't see what was done to me. June is Pride Month, so I think it's okay to talk about this kind of stuff during Pride Month. I took a lot of abuse from my brother, from my cousins, from my young uncles who were just teenagers, kids at school and in the neighborhood, for being a little fag. And a couple of the older boys who'd taken the same kind of abuse from the same kind of people used me in ways that were wrong. But I had no way to stop it. And I was sure that if God found out, he would abandon me in horror. Sure as I was that it was all my own fault. If God saw my punishments, I feared, he'd think that I did something to deserve it. I don't know if they meant to, but catechism teachers made me believe that I deserved whatever abuse I suffered. And still, I had faith that God would take care of me. Maybe not now, but someday. As long as he didn't find out. It made no sense, I know, I was a kid. And my faith then, I now know, is what theologians call thin faith. A superficial belief in something that I wanted to be true. It was an unexamined faith, based simply on believing what grown-ups told me, even when I knew in my guts that it was wrong, without ever questioning it. And somehow, that faith evolved. Somehow, I found the strength to forgive myself for not being what everyone expected me to be, and I forgave them for being so afraid of who and what I actually was. I realized that people are people, and they're going to do the people things that people do. They're going to lash out when they feel cornered and reach out when they feel supported. They're going to hold on tightly to everything they have when they're afraid of losing it all, and give whatever they can spare when they feel like they have enough. Fear, I learned, rarely motivates compassion and generosity. People love best and most when they can love themselves, and ironically can't love themselves if they feel no one else does first. Somehow, along the way, I found my real faith, my faith in people. Notice I didn't say I found my faith in the goodness of people. I'm a universalist through and through. While I believe that all people have the capacity for good, and maybe even that goodness is our base as little children, I don't believe all people are good. And I know for a fact that nobody is good all of the time because nobody's perfect. My faith is that no matter what, people will always act like people. And that belief is rooted in what those same theologians call thick faith. My confidence grows stronger the more it is tested. The more I learn about us and what we do, the more I commit myself to us, even when we aren't at our best. perhaps especially when we're not at our best. And right now, I don't think that any of us are at our best. We are all feeling disenfranchised right now. The people with power in this country are the people with the most money. The 20 or so wealthiest people on earth are getting even richer and even more powerful by gaming the system. The people who are most under attack are us, or the people we love. Our rights are being taken away. Our jobs in teaching, research, protecting the environment, and caring for the most vulnerable among us are being slashed with glee. Even people for whom everything is going great, I don't think they're at their best either. While Marjorie Taylor Greene may be thrilled that the trans people who terrify and disgust her are being erased from our government, she's also pissed that that big, beautiful bill she voted to support contains things that terrify her. Like not even addressing the regulation of artificial intelligence. So real democracy is disappearing, if it isn't already gone. Elon Musk may have broken up with the president he's been fangirling over, but there are plenty of oligarchs ready to take his place. So even if you saw this coming 6 months ago, like most of us did, there's no joy in it. It's just people being people. The super powerful are doing what the super powerful have always done. Rig the system so that we'll fight each other and drown in our own despair and apathy. They want us to forget that we connect with each other best when we are vulnerable, because ultimately most people want to be helpful most of the time. We all need to see vulnerability in order to be reminded of that fact and act accordingly. Some people are in a pit of anguish and dread. Others are energized by the fight to resist. And most of us are a little bit of both. Some days charged up and sometimes depleted and resigned to whatever may come. So it can be hard to go into any situation with hope and curiosity when we just feel so beat up. It's hard to actually trust each other. It's hard to show up even among the people who are on our side. What we need right now, of course, is the opposite of despair and apathy. We need hope and curiosity to deepen our faith in people. Louise MacLeod told me that hope and curiosity keep her going when things get tough. And that, I think, is the glue that holds Unitarian Universalists together. Hope and curiosity, even when it's tough. Many of you were here on May 18th when we gathered after the service for what the Committee on Ministry called a listening session. Our goal was not to fix anything. Our goal was to allow a few folks to speak with vulnerability about their experiences, as the rest of us made an effort to actually hear them, paying attention to their emotions, and perhaps more importantly, their unmet needs. We tried to even read between the lines to ferret out the unspoken unmet needs. And some people really wanted to be heard and had a hard time speaking. Some people really wanted to listen and perhaps wanted a little more strongly to find the problem and fix it. Some people came in skeptical of the process and left feeling hopeful. Some people came in feeling confused or even oblivious and left feeling frustrated. It was definitely one of those times when the way we interacted with each other tested my faith in people and at the same time completely reinforced it. Because everyone, every single one of us, behaved the way people behave. It wasn't perfect, because certainly there were some disagreement and hurt feelings. Ultimately, though, it felt like we were holding the discordant needs and expectations of different groups of people, even while so many of us fell into many multiple categories. Because people, it has been proven to me time and time again, often fall into multiple categories, even when those categories are at odds with each other. Because we can be helpful and desperate on alternate days, or even at the same time. We claim to be all about love and peace and still find ourselves hating that person we don't understand. And then we feel ashamed for feeling that way, even though it's perfectly human and we'd never act on those feelings. I think that's the biggest challenge in ministry. We are wildly complex, which makes us super inconsistent, which makes the diversity joyful but also really difficult to live into. So we can't be all things to all people all the time. And even though we know our diversity is exactly what makes us strong, even though we know that our diversity is exactly what makes people want to join us, we still struggle with the diversity that we value so much. And that is exactly what I love about people. That is what makes my curiosity about us swell. It makes me hopeful. We contradict ourselves all over the place. We get all messy, even in our love, and end up growing together because of it. If we let the struggle renew our faith in people, if we just let ourselves and each other be people. The bottom line is that if we're going to practice this faith together, if we're going to let this faith get thicker in us, we must live into the messiness and the contradictions, all the opposing needs that can feel like conflict if we let them. We have to accept that we can be two different things simultaneously. We can be charged for the fight and feel exhausted and hopeless. We can welcome newcomers and prefer the company of old friends. We can encourage the presence of children and feel a little grumpy when they don't act like grown-ups. We can want to change things and keep up with the times and hold on tightly to that which has given us so much comfort and support and fulfillment. We have to live into the tension. We have to find the usefulness in it. We cannot let ourselves be divided whenever we don't agree perfectly and acknowledge our own mixed feelings. We have to simply accept the fact that we all act like people all of the time, that we're imperfect and broken and absolutely perfect and whole exactly as we are, even when we make no sense at all. Our job is to accompany each other exactly as we are. Our job is to remind one another that our power comes from uniting, even when it isn't perfect. And I think that's why the 2,000-year-old words of a rebellious rabbi half a world away speak so clearly to me now. It's an appeal to a higher power, to our higher selves. Focus your light within us. Make it useful. As the rays of a beacon show the way. Unite our I can to yours so that we walk as kings and queens with every creature. Create in me a divine cooperation from many selves, one voice, one action. Grant what we need each day in bread and insight. Forgive our hidden past, the secret shames, as we consistently forgive what others hide. Deceived neither by the outer nor the inner, free us to walk your path with joy. It's a song to the power of the universe as we journey together fully human, frail and powerful, broken and strong, willing to be curious enough about each other to find the joy behind that which is hidden. May we be so to each other. May we be so in the world. Please rise now in body or in spirit as we sing together hymn number 67.